If you're a busy business owner trying to get in shape, but you just feel so complicated about everything and it's keeping you stuck, the fitness industry is doing exactly what it wants you to feel. It wants you to feel complicated. So what I want to do in this video is break down to you guys exactly how simple it is and just break fitness and transforming your body as a busy business owner down to its simplest form so you can actually realize how simple things are. My name's Ryan, I'm 21. This has been my transformation over the past 5.5 years, and I've also helped clients do the exact same thing. So what I actually want to run through with you guys is the system and the framework that I use with my clients basically, and it's called the TDR framework. Now I'm going to break this framework down, and it stands for training, diet, recovery. They are the 3 pillars that you need and you only need to concern yourself over in terms of the little time that you devote to fitness every day. All of the actions that you need to do only needs to be in alignment with those 3 pillars: training, diet, recovery. Get good at these, understand what these mean on a simple level, and you will fly. Before I get into the specificities of these different pillars, you obviously need to make sure that for them to work, you need to be consistent with all of these. If you want to build muscle, you need to be consistent with training in the gym. If you want to, put on weight or lose fat as a busy business owner and, build muscle, you need to be able to fuel that muscle with healthy foods consistently in alignment to your goal. Consistency is number 1, and I'm going to talk about consistency a little bit later in the video. In each of these pillars, you only need to consider a few things. So let's start with the training side of things. The first thing is that you need to follow a tailored training split consistently every week. Do the same exercises, do the same workouts on the same days each week. Follow that consistently over time, and you'll make progress if you do the right things, which I'll go over in a second. That's all you need to do. And if you're a busy business owner, you don't actually need to spend much time in the gym at all. All you need is 3 to 4 sessions per week, and all you need is anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour at the absolute max. And I've also helped this client who works 12 to 16 hour days completely transform, and you can hear it in his own words.
I'm almost surprised that we can do what we're doing, or we're building a physique, and it's only 4 hours a week.
So the first point that I wanted to make in the training section is that you need to follow a consistent training split that's obviously tailored to you, and this split only needs to consist of 3 to 4 sessions a week, and you can make some serious progress. If you do want to access a really simply laid out training plan or make everything as simple as possible for you, I've got one in my free community which you can access in the top link in the description, where you can join over 340 plus founders on the exact same journey as you. The second thing that I want to go over, if you want to get good at the training side of things, is form in the gym and technique. So I basically just mean executing the exercises that you do properly, right? Every time you complete a repetition on an exercise, you just need to make sure that you can execute that repetition in the most flawless way you possibly can. This is something that won't happen overnight. You will get better at it over time, and it's a constant practice. The third thing that I want to talk about in terms of training is simply just progressive overload. Have you ever heard of the phrase 1% better than last time? That's pretty much what progressive overload is. So if I give you an example, if I was benching with 135 pounds last week and I got 6 reps. This week I'd want to get 7 reps. It just refers to increasing the difficulty of your exercises and your sessions as you go. We need to do this because we can't grow muscle if we don't. And that is all you need to consider for the training side of things. Simple, right? The second pillar that I want to go through with you guys is diet. The importance of diet, I would like to reiterate in the example of the importance of fuel to a car. Obviously, a car can't run without petrol. If you just drive endlessly, don't fill up your car with any petrol or gas, then your car's gonna give out and you're not gonna be able to drive the car, and it's not gonna work. And it's the exact same thing with your body. Essentially, if you don't feed your body the right nutrients, then it's not going to respond, or in other words, grow muscle and change and transform how you want it to. All you need to concern yourself over with diet is your calorie goal, eating 3 to 4 meals a day to meet those calorie goals every day, making sure you stay hydrated, and that's pretty much it. And then what you want to do is essentially split up those calories that you need to eat into 3 to 4 meals a day, You could do 2 if you really wanted to, if it made it simple for you. And you basically just need to stick to that every day. In terms of being consistent with your diet, something that I want you guys to consider is that you need to make it a non-negotiable to eat your food. What may help you make this a non-negotiable is maybe help you reframe how you think of food. Every calorie we consume is also known as energy, right? And if you fuel your body with the right food and with the right amount of food, you make sure you eat these nutrients at this time so it primes you for X activity or whatever, your diet is actually going to help you increase your performance as a business owner. And of course, as a business owner, you don't have time to be spending hours in the kitchen every day cooking. So what you can do is 2 options. You can either prepare meals yourself, so block out 2 maybe 1 to 2 hour blocks a week to prepare all your meals that you need to prepare, or you can essentially do it in your own systemized way. For example, I helped one of my clients, and a way I helped him with his diet is I made him prepare his protein shake the night before. So when he got up straight away, he wasn't thinking, he just got straight to it and consumed his protein shake, and that worked really well for him. The second thing that you could do is meal prep service. There's loads of meal prep services wherever you are in the world. I'm sure there'll be a meal prep service company that you can get your meals, and then that will probably really help you with the calories and everything, and just make everything so much easier. So in terms of diet, the only things you really need to consider on a basic level is the amount of calories you need to eat, only really eating 3 to 4 meals a day and making sure those meals add up to that calorie goal, and staying hydrated to help, with digestion, flushing out waste products, everything like that, but you don't necessarily need to worry about that. And a couple of things which will help you with the diet: meal preparation or ordering a meal prep service, and making diet and the meals you eat every day are absolute non-negotiable and staple, just like showing up to your desk is a non-negotiable, and you have to do it for your business every day. Now, the final thing that I want to go over with you guys is recovery. I'm not necessarily going to spend too long on this because I don't need to, because it really is that fucking simple. Recovery, I just want to give a great analogy of a phone battery. You can't use your phone if you don't charge it properly, right? If you use your phone and the battery goes down and down and down and down and down the longer you're on it for, and you don't charge your phone, it's eventually going to die and you're not going to be able to use it. And in terms of your body, if you're not giving yourself enough time to rest, then your body's going to be slow, you're going to be hurting, therefore you can probably increase the risk of injury. So making sure that you recover is super important. The equivalent of letting your body recover is letting your phone charge. What I mean by recovery is, first of all, obviously making sure you have rest days from the gym. So making sure that you train 3 to 4 times a week is absolutely perfect for that, because that's going to be more than enough. And in terms of other factors for recovery, making sure you're eating properly, so going back to the diet, sleeping properly. Sleep is one of, if not the most important thing for recovery. Going on walks as well, giving your body that light activity, that's going to be really good, because it's going to encourage blood flow, therefore it's going to flush out the waste products and drive oxygen to the places in your body that need it most, which is going to help you recover. So simply, that's it. On paper, that's it. I'll put everything on the screen that I've been through so far. That is all that you need to concern yourself over on a basic level. So you may now be thinking, Ryan, if it's so simple, then why have I not been able to make progress, or why have I not been able to be consistent with it yet? Well, that is a simple hypothesis, because you haven't integrated it into your life properly yet. And in order to integrate it properly into your life, especially as someone who's busy, you don't necessarily want to add everything on your plate at once. You don't want to be, sticking to a calorie goal with a rigorous protein goal straight away. You don't want to be training all of these hours in the gym, straight off the bat of not being consistent with that for a long time. You need to slowly build yourself up in order to sustain that. What makes you think you can train intensely, you can eat 4 meals a day before you know whether you can eat 2 meals a day consistently and go to the gym twice a week without even training intensely? They're the things that you need to start with. If you're struggling to eat consistently every day, what you want to do is just block out times in your calendar, make that an absolute non-negotiable, and just eat something. It can be a snack. It doesn't even have to be a full meal. Just get in the habit of eating consistently a certain amount of times every day, and just get consistent with going to the gym a certain amount of times every week. You don't have to train hard. You don't even have to follow a workout split to start out with. The main thing that matters is you building the habit. And then once you've built the habit, then you can integrate the things that I've just talked about in the simplest way possible, because you're going to be consistent with it. And this is exactly what I told one of my clients to. I told him to eat a certain amount of meals a day, which I'll play the clip on the screen of him talking about it in a second.
The vast majority of people on the internet trying to teach fitness and how to get in shape, they give you the what and they give you the why, and they say, like, you've got to train this many times, you've got to eat this much, you've got to cook this many times. But it's all just at once. And they don't explain to you that if you try to do it all at once, you are going to have those oscillations. Whereas the second we started working together, the first thing that you did was you gave me the full plan of, like, hey, this is what the next 6 months are going to look like. Excuse me. You're going to spend this long in the foundations phase, then in the building phase, and all of these things. And when we did it that way, and it wasn't just 0 to 100, but instead it was, hey, we're going to try just 3 meals a day. We're going to try just this many liters of water. You're going to try get this many steps. We did it in such little baby pieces that I kind of felt like, okay, I've got to do this, because otherwise I'm just pathetic. Like, I can't not stick to this week's stuff because it's just so easy.
I literally told him to not track the calories. I told him, if one meal needed to be a little snack, then so be it. It's just about building a habit and starting so small. It's through climbing onto step 1 on the ladder that you can then climb up to step 2, and then step 3, and then step 4. It's not about jumping as high up on the ladder as you possibly can, because you might risk falling back down. And that's what happens with the majority of you guys. So you just want to keep things simple. Consider the factors that I've told you in this video, and reduce the barrier to entry to do the actions as much as you possibly can. What I just said in terms of, eating 4 meals a day and not even tracking them, just making sure they're healthy, and going to the gym 2 to 3 times a week, following a really simple workout plan, not pushing hard, not worrying about anything, just getting to the gym and just doing those things for the sake of integrating the habit into your life consistently. That is how you're going to make progress. And the ironic thing is, the goal of the habit integration isn't even progress, but I guarantee you will make progress anyway, because it's the consistency that gets you far. So that's everything that I wanted to go over in this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you want me to help you simplify fitness as much as possible as a business owner, and just reduce the friction and make sure you're doing the right things with the finite time you have, just like I helped Corey with, then I'm going to leave a link to book a one-on-one call with me, where I can potentially show you how I can build you a system around your life and help you transform your body to unlock the confidence you need to scale your business to the next level. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.